For years, I'd been obsessed with the Dyatlov Pass incident. 9 hikers found dead in the Ural Mountains under mysterious, horrific circumstances. Theories ranged from avalanches to government conspiracies, but none truly explained the terror etched onto the faces of the victims, or why some were found half-naked in the snow with inexplicable injuries. As an amateur paranormal investigator, I decided it was time to uncover the truth for myself. I gathered a team of like-minded individuals, other enthusiasts who, like me, believed there was something more to the tragedy than what the official reports claimed. We traveled to Russia, and after a week of planning and gathering supplies, we made the long trek to Dyatlov Pass. The place was eerily still. Despite it being the dead of winter, the biting cold felt strangely oppressive, like it was pressing down on my skin in waves. We set up camp in roughly the same area where the original group had stayed, and that's when things began to go wrong. The first night, I couldn't sleep. The wind howled, twisting through the mountains like whispers just beyond my comprehension. I lay in my tent, wide-eyed, listening. I wasn't alone. Someone or something was out there. At around 3 a.m., I heard it, a low, guttural growl, followed by footsteps crunching through the snow. Slowly, I unzipped the tent and peered out into the night. My breath caught in my throat. There, standing just beyond the glow of our campfire, was a figure. Its outline was barely visible in the dark, but I could tell it was human-like, though unnaturally tall. It was watching us. I called out, but the figure didn't respond. My flashlight caught its face, and I instantly regretted it. Its eyes, they were sunken, hollow, with no sign of life. I blinked, and the figure vanished, dissolving into the night like smoke. The others dismissed it as a hallucination brought on by fatigue, but I knew what I saw. The next day, we found one of our tents slashed open from the inside. No one admitted to doing it, but the tension in the group was palpable. We pressed on, determined to continue our investigation, but the atmosphere grew heavier with each passing hour. That evening, strange noises echoed through the mountains again. Low-frequency hums, distorted voices. One of the team members, Nick, insisted he saw someone following us in the distance. We laughed it off, but I felt it too. Something was wrong with this place, like it was alive, watching us. On the third night, everything unraveled. I woke to screaming. I scrambled out of my tent, only to see Nick running into the dark, his face pale with terror. The others chased after him, but I stayed behind. Something told me not to follow. I waited, clutching my flashlight in the eerie silence. Then, one by one, my team came back, except for Nick. We searched for hours, but there was no sign of him. The snowfall had erased any tracks. His gear, his footprints, his very presence, gone. Just like the Dyatlov hikers. That night, we didn't sleep. Each of us stayed awake, huddled around the campfire, watching the shadows flicker and twist. I kept hearing the whispers, growing louder and more insistent. They weren't coming from the wind. They were coming from the pass itself, as if the mountains were alive and wanted us to leave, or worse, stay forever. By the fourth night, 2 more members of our team had disappeared. Their tents were torn apart from the inside, and I could still hear the distant screams echoing in my mind. There was no explanation for the madness we descended into, no reason for the paranoia gripping us. But I could feel it, the same terror that had driven the original hikers into the cold, that had forced them to flee half-naked into their deaths. We had become part of the mystery. It wasn't until I was alone, lost in the snow with the rest of my team either missing or dead, that I understood the truth. The pass wasn't just haunted by the spirits of the dead hikers. It was a living entity, feeding on fear, consuming those who dared to tread on its cursed ground. I write this now from an abandoned outpost near the pass. My body is weak, my mind fractured. I can hear them, the voices of my team, the lost hikers, calling to me from the darkness. Their faces, twisted in agony, are burned into my memory. I don't know if I'll make it out alive, or if I'm already dead. All I know is this: the Dyatlov Pass doesn't let anyone go. Takes and it keeps. If you're reading this, do not come looking for me. Don't make the same mistake we did. The mystery of the Dyatlov Pass is not meant to be solved. It's meant to claim more souls.